guys, Farah here with the split challenge of the month May, day 1. We're gonna go at it again, and we're immediately gonna start focusing today on the hamstrings. We have 6 days of stretches for you. Today, starting with our hamstring. Tomorrow, for example, focusing more on opening the hips. So see if you can sit up straight, stretch the legs out. I will show it from the side as well. And then really getting your butt cheeks away from underneath you. So your hip, the bones of your butt are pushing into the floor, stretching up. We're gonna start the clock. We're gonna breathe in, stretch up, and then see if you can slowly move forward. And we're gonna start now. So I could round my back and grab my feet. But we're not gonna do that. We're gonna stay stretched up, moving forward a little. And breathing in, stretching up, and breathing out, maybe moving a little further. Because if you round our back, the stretch is coming from the upper back. And that's not where we want to stretch. We want it in our hamstrings and in our backs. So we're elongating and then moving a little forward. Elongating and moving a little forward. Hold it here. And we're going to hold it here for 2.5 minutes. So see if you can stretch up and move a little forward. Nice deep breaths. And it's going to be a little bit more of a longer holds than we did in our last split challenge. Elongating, stretching up, and moving a little forward. Stretch the back. So you see me shaking a little. That's because I'm really trying to stretch my back, but at the same time, try to pull forward as well. And so if you're not even up for the split, it is still nice stretches if you're doing CrossFit or a lot of running, using the hamstrings a lot. And see if you can try to, so we don't want to lock the knees, but you do want to push them down a little bit so they're stretched out. Almost there. And at all times you want to feel tension. So you want to still, I know it seems like a very passive pose, but it's a very active pose because you're stretching up and you're trying to push forward while still trying to keep the back stretched. And we even made it 2-3 minutes. Yay! Now we're gonna do the same thing, but then standing. So, see if you can come standing on your mat. And you want to have the feet approximately hip distance apart. And let's do 3 Jefferson curls before we go in there. So see if you can put your chin to your chest and then slowly, slowly rounding the back. I'm going to show it from the side. This time you are nicely rounding the back. Going to the floor. And slowly, slowly. And this is really by pushing, squeezing the glutes, pushing the hips forward, that your upper body is coming up. 2 more times. Chest, chin to your chest, rolling down. So day 1 will also be the longest of the day.
all days. Because we want to keep it nice and short, so you have always time to do it. And for the last time, so if you're going faster or slower than me, that's perfectly fine. Do whatever feels good. And then slowly try to almost make it a challenge to maybe even go slower than I do, because I think I'm not patient enough to do it as slow. So you can also do it 2 times and then slower. Now we're going to do the same thing as we did. So breathing in, stretching up, and breathing out. See if with an elongated back you can go down to the floor. And maybe you can reach the floor, maybe not. If you can't, that's where the blocks come in handy. Putting them down, stretching the back. At all times, you want your back to be elongated. Maybe that's here. It's perfectly fine. Whatever feels good. We are going to start. And since we did that one 3 minutes, we're going to do this 3 minutes as well. Elongating, so I'm going to show it this way. Elongating the back and then moving closer to the floor. If your hands are completely on the floor and your back is still straight, maybe you can even put your hands in the rest of this process. Put it underneath your feet. Let's start with maybe grabbing the toes, stretching the back out. So you have something to pull yourself towards the floor. And just giving you a couple of alternations. So during this process, if you get further, see, and I'm cheating a little bit. First getting my big toe all the way to my wrist. It's also a nice wrist stretch. And then stretching the back of the legs, elongating my spine. Also a version. Another option is to grab with your elbows, the back of your leg, and then stretch the leg out again, trying to elongate the back. Whatever feels good. Maybe every time you're doing the split challenge, you can try a different one. But this is a nice place because gravity is helping to try to get lower. And also a little party trick. The more you pull your lower belly in, the more space you create to get your lower belly to your upper legs, because that's where we're starting to get closer. We're always starting to get closer first with the lower belly to the upper legs and then the knees to know. This is the last things that are touching. 1 minute left. Focus on your breath. My legs are shaking. Some days that happens, and that's perfectly fine. Again, putting the hands on blocks on the floor is also fine. Just feeling a nice stretch in the hamstring, in the lower back. And then slowly, with your Jefferson curl, roll it back. Very nice. Moving to our to our last pose, our hamstring pose. So for this one, you need a wall or something that is high enough for you to put your leg on. Now, from here, you see my hip wants to open up, but I want to keep on pointing my left foot because the right is going up, My left foot pointing it forward, holding it here. So I'm gonna take your position. I'm gonna start the timer, and we're gonna do this for 2.5 minutes each side. Oh well, we did everything 3, so let's do this 3 as well. So really pointing the front, the leg that's on the floor, pointing the toe to the front, and then the right leg is on the wall. And you're really feeling it in the back of the leg. If you're not, then maybe bring the leg a little higher. And again, if it's on a table or on a closet, anything that's high, that works as well. So if you don't have a wall at home, try to find something that's high enough to put your leg on to feel the stretch. I'm also feeling this in my hip as well. It's screaming a little. Really try to put your weight in it for a natural stretch. One minute left. This is also making your left leg stronger. It's also nice for your balance. So think of all the positive things that this is bringing you. And if you feel like those 3 minutes is too much and you're struggling, then 2 minutes, we're now at almost 2.5, is perfectly fine. I'd rather have you to have it a little bit easier to be able to keep on doing it than it hurting so much that you don't want to get back to your mat again. So we're always going for endurance. To be able to hold on to it for a month is maybe every day making it a little easier for yourself. And slowly, bringing the leg down. Move a little if you need to. I need to. And then we're gonna go to the other side. So now it's the right leg that's in the floor and the left one that's against the wall. We're gonna start now. Pushing the right leg into the floor, lifting the left one up. See if the toes are pointing to the front. See how high you can get your leg, so you're feeling a stretch, but you're not killing yourself. Holding onto your leg, anything that helps is fine. And both legs are stretched, so find a position where you can really stretch both legs up. And a little bit of nice music could definitely help, maybe to get you through it.
halfway. Try to, because I feel like my hip wants to open, try to still point it to the wall. And like I said, if 3 minutes is too long, we have 1 minute to go, then just bring it to 2.5. And maybe slowly build it up to that 3 minutes. Maybe even start with 1, and then every week adding 30 seconds. Thirty seconds left. And then we're there, yes. Shake the legs out. And then I will see you tomorrow with our hip openers.